Recently, I was watching a video from Grant Cardone, and he had Donald Trump at his 10X conference as a guest. Now, during that conference, Donald Trump said this. Watch this clip.
Inflation is a good thing for real estate, not a bad thing for
Very
real estate,
good.
okay?
Now, whether you like Donald Trump or not, I could care less. But one thing is for sure, Donald Trump definitely knows a little bit about real estate. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what Donald Trump meant by inflation is good for real estate. I'm going to share with you the best type of real estate investing to do during high times of inflation. And I'm going to show you how to get started with this investment strategy, whether you have some money or not. Let's get into this. So first, let's talk about why inflation is good for real estate. What did Donald Trump mean by that? Well, think about what happened over the last couple of years. You had real estate prices skyrocket, and this was due to the fact that you had high demand for real estate, meaning more people were looking to buy homes. And the reason people were out there looking for homes is because you had low interest rates. So if you couple the fact that you had high demand and low interest rates making housing more affordable, naturally, that's going to cause the prices of real estate to go up. You also had low inventory on the market, meaning not enough houses were available on the market in the first place. And this was due to pandemic effects and rising cost of building material. Naturally, when you couple the two together, you have high demand and low interest rates, and you have not enough inventory on the market, real estate prices are going to go up. In fact, I was reading an article not so long ago on fortune.com. In fact, it was the other day. It says last year alone, U.S. real estate prices rose 18.8%. So that was a huge rise. And this is a year-over-year effect over the last couple of years. Real estate has skyrocketed. You might see, if you own a home right now, you might see a ton of equity in your home right now. As of April 12th, inflation hit a 40-year high of 8.5%. So to combat that, what the feds are doing is they're raising interest rates in order to slow down the economy. So that's what Donald Trump meant when he said that inflation is good for real estate. You gain a whole lot of appreciation in a market just like this. So that leads me to the type of real estate you should be buying right now. Now, most people watching this channel will probably focus on wholesaling real estate, or they're trying to get started in real estate. So what I want to do right now is talk about the best type of real estate. And I've been talking about this for a couple of years now. There's no secret. I've been kind of shying people away from wholesaling and focusing more on what we're going to talk about right now, because I think this is the best way to really build wealth in a market like this. Now, during times of inflation, it can be really hard to get a mortgage on a property due to losing purchasing power because of high cost mortgage rates. So because of that, what a lot of people settle to do is they'll go ahead and rent a property rather than buy a property. So that means that right now, the best thing you should be doing in your real estate investing business is purchasing rental properties. Now, again, I've talked about this on my channel over the last couple of years. I said, stop wholesaling houses, start holding properties in order to gain the appreciation. And if you would have listened to me 2 years ago, you would have been way ahead of the game. But let's not think about what happened 2 years ago. Let's think about right now. How can you get started buying rental properties right now and build real wealth? Because we don't see a slowdown in what's actually happening. We see this happening for another 2 to 3 years into the future. So how can you take advantage of this market right now? Well, obviously there's a lot of different ways to buy rental real estate, but I'm going to share with you 3 different strategies that you can use right now. 3 different ways that you can get started in the game in order to start building wealth today. And obviously the benefit of buying rental real estate right now is you get to fight against inflation. You get appreciation in your properties. You get cash flow every month. You get benefits through taxes and depreciation, and you get equity buildup in the properties as well. That's why rental real estate is the ultimate way to fight against inflation when you're a real estate investor. So let's talk about how you can get started investing into real estate today through rental properties, whether you have some money or not. So first, let's talk about traditional real estate investing, meaning you go out and you buy a rental property the traditional way. There's a couple of things that you're going to need in order to make this happen. You're going to need at least a 20% down payment. You're going to need decent credit, and you're going to need income in order to be able to get a loan from a mortgage lender. So first, let's talk about buying rental properties the traditional way. If you focus on buying rental properties the traditional way, you're going to need a 20% down payment, you're gonna need decent credit, and you're gonna need a job or some income in order to be able to get a loan from a mortgage broker or a mortgage lender. And when it comes to buying rental properties the traditional way, most people would look on a multiple listing service in order to find real estate deals. They're gonna pay top market for these types of deals. They're gonna put 20% down, and they're gonna get the rest of the money from the mortgage lender, right? Now, this is a good way to hedge your savings against inflation, but the problem with this is you're gonna need to come up with 20% for every property you're looking to purchase, which can take time, and it's harder to buy real estate this way. So for example, here's a property that a wholesaler just sent me yesterday in my local market for $130,000. Now, looking at this, I know that $130,000 is literally market value for this property. So if I wanted to take on this deal, I'm gonna have to come up with $26,000 to put down on this property because there's no equity in it. Then I'm gonna have to get a mortgage on a property. Then I'm gonna have to get at least $1,300 to $1,400 in rent in order for this particular deal to make sense. Now, if I wanted to continue using this particular method in order to grow my portfolio, I'm gonna have to continually come up with 20% to put down, which will take me a whole lot of time in order to be able to do that. So there's a better way to do this, and that's strategy number 2. Now, the second strategy is one of my favorite strategies to invest in real estate and build wealth over time, build a real portfolio while only using a down payment one time. You literally get to recycle the money over and over and over again. Let me explain. It's called the BRRRR strategy. For those of you who don't know what BRRRR means, it's basically when you're buying a distressed real estate, a physically distressed house, meaning the house needs some work. You're gonna rehab the house, put some money into it to fix it up. You're going to rent that property, and you're gonna refinance your money out, and then you're gonna use the same exact money that you pulled out of the property to repeat the process in order to build your portfolio over and over and over again. So literally what that means is you're gonna force the appreciation in the property rather than coming up with a down payment for the property. So you literally don't need any money to do this. So unlike traditional rental property purchasing where you have to come up with the 20% and go to the bank to get the loan and all of that stuff, with this, you're gonna use the property. You're gonna force the appreciation through fixing the property up, and then you're going to be able to refinance any money that you have into the property out of it and keep recycling the same money over and over and over again. So what you're doing in strategy number 2 is you're using the BRRRR strategy where you're buying properties that are in distress, you're fixing them up, forcing the value of the property up, gaining appreciation, then you're gonna go to a bank and you're gonna refinance that money out. Now, here's a property that I recently purchased using the BRRRR strategy. In fact, I have a YouTube playlist on this particular property where I walked you through the entire process. I purchased this property using what's called private money. So this is someone who had the money to buy the house and fix the property up, and they linked the money over to me in order to be able to get this thing done. They took first lien position on the property, meaning that they were the note holder on the property, and I was the owner of the property. And I still am the owner of the property because I decided to keep it as a rental property. Now, I bought this property for $73,000. We put $35,000 into rehabbing this property. None of this money came out of my own pocket. And then I knew that I can get a valuation of this property at $140,000. So this is just another way of buying rental properties without having any money and without having to come up with 20% down payments. This is also a faster way to build up a rental portfolio for yourself as well. Now, if you're looking for a lender that can help you in getting hard money to purchase the properties as well as fix the properties up, and then when you need the loan on the other end to be able to refi, cash out, then I'm gonna link a lender in the description box for you so you can be able to go ahead and check them out. Make sure you tell them that Jamel Gibbs sent you. Now, the third way of buying rental properties and building a rental portfolio is by using a hybrid strategy called seller financing. And this is one of the things that I teach in my hybrid wholesaling program. And if you want to check that out, be sure to check the link in the description box. I have a free video for you to watch down below. Now, when it comes to seller financing, you don't need any money. You don't need any credit. What you do need are some negotiation skills, the ability to listen and the ability to be able to solve problems and create win-win situations for you and the seller. So when you're using the method called seller financing, you're literally using the seller as the bank. So at that point, price really doesn't matter as long as you can cash flow on the property. Now I have an entire video on how to get started using seller financing from start to finish. It's a 30-minute video if you want to check it out. I'll provide you with the agreements and everything you need in order to be able to get started seller financing real estate today. But seller financing is by far one of the best ways to prevent taking on debt, to prevent having to come up with huge down payments, and to be able to purchase more real estate while creating cash flow, creating appreciation, creating ownership, creating equity, and depreciation in real estate today. Those are the top 3 ways that I wanted to share with you on how to beat inflation today. Donald Trump was right. He said that inflation is good for real estate, and what he meant by that was buying rental properties is fantastic for real estate right now. So whether you're buying properties the traditional way with 20% down, whether you're using no money down and burying these properties and putting some work into these properties and then renting them out and using that same money over and over again, or you're using seller financing where you don't need any of that other stuff, you just need some negotiation skills to be able to do it. Buying rental properties is the best way to beat inflation in today's market. This is how you create real time. This is how you create real freedom. And obviously that's what I preach on my channel, time and freedom to be able to do things that you want to do with your family, to be able to help out who you have to help out in your life, and to be able to create wealth for yourself as well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Listen, if you like this video, you'll definitely like the video that just popped up on the side right here. Be sure to check that out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.